beautiful people, how are you doing today? I am 𝐿𝐸𝐲𝐸. For those who don't know me, I'm going to be posting this on YouTube and also on my Instagram page. So I have two different kinds of audiences for both. So again, for my YouTube fam, welcome back to my channel. I hope that you subscribe and stick around. For my Instagram beauties and gentlemen, thank you so much for stopping by. And this is going to be a two-part series, so I'm just going to delve right into it because I don't want to string this on for too long. So there are a couple of things that I want to start sharing. For those who don't know, my birthday just passed. I had my birthday last week, and one of the big things that I proposed in my heart this new year is that I'm going to be doing things that make me happy, that just gives me joy. And one of the things for me is creating content. I really love to create content. Creating content is something that makes me happy, and I want to be doing more of that. So you're going to be seeing more of this face. So psychology of likes. So one of the main things I will do, like I said, it's a two-part video. In this part, I will be talking about the fundamental basic. Why did the people who created social media thought it's important to add that like feature? What exactly does that like feature do? And again, for you guys that are content creators, especially Christian content creators, this one is for you. Content creators that are they're getting discouraged, so they've been discouraged and they kind of stopped creating content, or you are on the verge of maybe to start creating content, but you're like, I don't know if people would like what I put out there. This one is for you. You would want to bookmark this video right here because you would get discouraged. It's a given. I get discouraged too, so I'll probably be watching this at some point too. But again, I hope that the goal of this video is that for whatever there's what I'm looking for. The number one goal I have for this video is that you will start creating content that is true to you, that no matter how many people like it, no matter how many people don't like it, you will stick with content that is authentic to you, that it inspired, that you're inspired by, that inspires you, and all of that thing that, you would not be swayed. The number of likes you get on a content would not move you out of your post, so to speak. So let's get right into it. So the first thing I would say is, why this feature to start with? Why did they put likes in it? why did they feel the need to put a like feature on all social media platforms? So for those who don't know, there are some basic hormones that the body emits. They are good hormones that the body emits. One of the hormones that is associated with the like feature is dopamine. Well, for those who don't know, I'm a psychologist, and we did quite a number of cognitive psychology courses, right? Which is why I know some of these things, right? Dopamine is a feel-good hormone. It's a hormone that triggers your reward system. Is a neurotransmitter that is triggered based on a reward system. So if you do something, it rewards you by providing that hormone. So for instance, for those who put a certain content out and it gets lots of engagement in terms of likes, there is that tendency of wanting to do more of that thing that induces. So if you're someone that likes to, wear like half naked clothes, and every single time you wear half naked clothes, you get X number of likes, you want to do more and more of that because you want to kind of get that rush and that feeling of that. Literally, this is all psychology. This is all neuropsychology, and it is facts. The like feature actually does that to humans because, I won't sit down and say, oh, it doesn't feel good to get lots of likes. It does. But the cool thing about what God has been teaching me is that I would not change the kind of content that I create because I want to get X number of likes. If I'm creating the content that I'm inspired by and it gets traction and it gets a number of likes, cool. But I won't shift, start creating content based on the amount of likes that I tend to get. Does that make sense? I hope it does. Anyways, I'm going to be sharing with you 5 facts about the like, and maybe add 1/6 bonus point about the like feature that you should know just in general. So let's get into it. So the number one point that I would share regarding the like feature is that the like feature does not directly commensurate to the quality of content that you put out there. What I mean by that is just because you don't have X amount of like does not mean that your quality is not content. Quality is not content. Like your content is not quality. So hence, don't be discouraged because to be honest, I don't know if it happens to you where you are scrolling through and you actually stop and you watch an entire video, but you move on. Maybe you turn off your phone or you move on without actually liking that actual clip. The person who created it may look at that on a later time and like, oh, only 2 people watched it, but in actual fact, maybe 12 people watched it, you know. So that is one thing you should know, that it's not a direct measure of the quality of content that you put out there. Number 2 thing that I would say is that the algorithm sort of across social media is set up to reward certain people. Everyone knows across all social media that consistency is key. So if you put out content maybe 3 times a week, literally your views and your engagement will grow because the system is set up to reward you. Instagram, for instance, if you use all the Instagram features, so you use the story, you use the reel, you post consistently quality content, you will get the traction that you need. You know what I mean? So again, you know, some people might not have, might just seldomly post. So when you post seldomly, it does not reward you in that it won't keep your post up longer. So you might have your post up for maybe like, I don't know, like two minutes, even if that, maybe a couple of seconds. Whereas people who post consistently quality content and use all the features on Instagram, they kind of get rewarded based on how the system is set up, where people, their posts tend to show up more frequently on people's feed and stay longer on people's feed. And what happens when that happens? So when your posts come up consistently on people's feed, it gets more engagement because more eyes are seeing it, right? The number 3 thing that I wanted to share is that some people just don't like you, period. I'm not going to even talk too much about that. Some people just don't like you. Hey, we have over 7 billion people in this world, thereabouts now. So some people will not like you and some people will not like your content. So that makes sense. The 4th thing I was going to say, which is another petty thing that I've seen happen, is that some people would not like a content that has little likes. I don't know, but some people literally, if a content has you know, 1,000 likes, they'll feel like, oh, for 1,000 people to like it, maybe I should go and like it too, even if they don't agree with it or whatever the case is. Like, oh, this must be good because this many people like it. But oh, nobody will ever catch me liking a content that has 2 likes. Heck no. I'm not about to associate myself with people with the 2 like categories. So some people will just not like it. Even if they like even if they agree with what you're putting out there, they won't like it because you don't have that much engagement, right? The 5th and final thing is that your content may just not be, how do I say this? In this day and age, people like watered down content. So if you're putting out, like, for instance, if you're a Christian creator and you're putting out content that is eating people's nerve, that is, you know, speaking literally like you are getting some deep things out there. Some people just, like, they don't want to think too much. They don't want any, they just come to social media to feel good, you know, like, you know, for instance, TikTok started with what? People just coming out to do goofy dances, and it's kind of blown up. I mean, now people are, more people who put out like really deep content and like substantive content to go on TikTok. But before, it started with just like goofy stuff and people literally getting wealthy from just goofy dances. But what I'm saying is your content may be very, you know, have a lot of substance to it, and sometimes people just think, oh, that's just too deep for me right now. Like, literally, I just want to come and laugh, you know. So sometimes it could be why, you know, you may not be getting as much content as someone just coming and doing, you know, weird things, you know, like literal weird things, and they get like 1 million views, and you're like, what am I missing, you know? So so those are like the 5, was it 5 or 6 I shared? And some people would not like your content if you're not liking theirs, period. Those are some truths. This is not everything, obviously, but those are some main truths about the like feature that you should know. The amount of like you get on a certain post should not be a factor as to what you now start to post, except if you are, you know, a business creator. Literally, if you're creating something for people, they're your customers, so you should be getting their feedback, and based on what they're like, you should be creating. But this, like I said, this video is mostly for Christian creators who feel inspired by God to create something, or you know, who just create things based on inspiration from God. So again, we will get into it in part 2, so stay glued, and we'll chat soon. Bye.